Welcome back to the Qt Developer, or the Qt Developer, whichever you prefer. Today we're going to look at QHashes. QHash is pretty neat. So, difference between the QHash and the QMap is the QMap is sorted, and the QHash is not. So let's take a look at some of these really neat utilities that we can use with the QHash and how it operates. Let's get into it. Here we are. The QHash. I start with my includes of the QHash and my handy dandy trusty QDebug. QDebug is lots of fun. So now, QHash. Let's get going. I'm going to make it a Q string. Whoops, not a sting, a string. And I'll give it an integer as the value. And let's call it hash. Now to insert the hash, let's use, how about we use days of the week? So Monday equals 1. Then, let's go ahead and make 2 more. Monday, Wednesday, and what? Saturday. You thought I was going to say Friday, didn't you? So Wednesday, I'll make 3. And I'll make Saturday 6. Great. So now, let's go ahead and QDebug. And let's say inserting into the QHash. Again, if I want to insert, I'm going to say hash.insert, and I could insert what? Sunday. Make it a 0, because Sunday will be 0. If I want to take a look and say, how about I try to get the days? So I'll create an int day 1, and I'll say that's equal to what? Hash. And then this is a way in which I can get the information. Okay. Now what's another way? Does anybody know? Can you guess? Int day 2 is equal to hash dot value. That's right. I can use the value. And I think Qt really likes you to do this as opposed to passing the bracket. Saturday. There. Nice. Now, if I want to actually take a look, let's see if it's working. Let's output day 1, and output day 2, day 2. There we go. Semicolon. What do you think? Think it's going to work? Yes, it did. Oh, beautiful. Day 1 and day 2 is 6. Perfect. Now, what do we do next? Well, what if I want to retrieve using a QHash iterator? Let's give that a try. QHash iterator. This is a handy little utility. And I'm going to make it a Q string and an int. And let's make it I. And let's call it, let's pass it hash. There's my QHash iterator. Then I want to run through my while loop and say, well, that I has next. I want to take I next, and then QDebug, and output what? A Q printable, and I'll say I.key, and then output my colon, because I like to be neat. my dot value. Beautiful. Okay. So now it should go through the list and print them all out. And there it goes. Terrific. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. Lots of fun here with a Qt C++. Okay. Now what? Well, why don't we go ahead and add my infamous endl. Make things look a little prettier. Let's take a look now and say, hey, what happens if I try to add multiple keys? So q debug, and let's say insert multiple keys with the same name. Let's see how it behaves. So if I do a hash.insert, and I want to put in more. Let's set this to 1,000. And let's go ahead and do the same thing, only this won't be 2,000. And let's use a range loop this time. Let's use a range loop for int value. And I want to use q as const, and then I want to pass it the hash, there, and I want to do my q debug, output the value. Let's see, what do you think is going to happen? Can you guess it? I'll give you a minute. Can you guess what's going to happen? If you guessed 2,000, you were right. Because these both have the same key, it omitted the first one and overrode it. So the second one took precedence, and we said goodbye to the first one. So the QHash will take the second one. Second item. Try not to do that. So let's go ahead and clean up a little bit. Let me take all of these here. Take these, comment those, comment that, comment out my iterator, and comment out my extra line, and comment out this one, and comment out this one. Beautiful. So now we're clean again. It's like a little testing ground. This is like my own little digital sketchbook. Sketchbook for code. So now, what if I want to erase? Q debug erase. So, we ran into this one before, in which we can use something very similar. We used it in the map. We also used it in the multi-map, and in the set. So now, if I go out and said, okay, erase if, pass it my hash, give it my lambda, and this needs to be a const QHash. Oh, it doesn't need to, but in my case, I'd like to use it. An iterator, and let's name it IT. Then I'm going to return it.value. If the value, do you remember this from one of the other videos? If the value is greater than 1. Now, I need my semicolon, and I also need to end the curly brace. and get rid of that. This autocomplete kind of messes me up sometimes. Let's see, what am I missing? I'm missing there. Beautiful. Okay, now let's go ahead and actually test it. QDebug. I want to check out the hash.size. I also want to QDebug and output the hash, because I can output the actual container and it will print all of the data within the container. Let's take a look. Beautiful, look at that. So it erased all of these other items. I'm left with 2. Anything greater than 1, it kept. So it kept Sunday and Monday. That's pretty neat. So, what if I want to find an item in the hash? Go ahead and comment these out. What if I want to find an item in the hash? QDebug, make myself a little note. Find item in hash. Now, auto. Iterator 5. I don't know why I chose 5. I just chose 5. Hash.constFind. And I want to pass it test, because it's a test. Then I'm going to say if iterator 5 is not equal to the hash dot not equal to the hash dot C end. Okay. I am then going to say QDebug the day is, and I want to output iterator 5 dot value. But what if it doesn't find it? Well, I'd like to know that too. And if it doesn't find it, then I'm going to output no day found. Beautiful. Move this in the middle. There. So now let's take a look. What happens? Beautiful. Look at that. I try to find the item. No day found. What if I put an actual item in there? Let's see. Let's use Saturday. Let's see. If Saturday is placed, will it find it? Will it work? Yes, it did. Beautiful. So this is how we can actually find items in the hash. So much fun. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's video of QHash. If you have any comments, suggestions, please leave them. If you have any thoughts and opinions on other videos you'd like to see, please share those. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.